All right, welcome to our week 11 there, right? Okay, week 11 there. I think the time's quite fly there, right? Okay. Normally, right, okay, if I want to wait until week 11, it's quite, I felt quite a little bit kind of long sessions there, okay? But this time I feel a little bit kind of short there, right? Okay? I don't know why, maybe because of most of the time basically I actually in the online sessions here. So that means basically the routine I felt quite really fast, right? The time flies quite fast, right? Okay? So it's around 3 weeks more that okay, we are going to complete the whole kind of sessions here, right? We are going to complete the whole session there, right? Okay. So now, okay, what basically I want to discuss with you, okay, other than we are going to go through with our last kind of assignments there, okay, the last assignments, all right, which is the picture books illustrations. Okay, last week I already give you guys also a sample set, okay, how actually we can actually develop a thumbnail story structures there, okay, that based on the simplest ideas, and we are going to refine them. All right, we're going to refine them into an illustrations works. All right. Okay. So hopefully the videos that I actually have recorded for you guys, okay, will give you a start ahead how actually you're going to work with your storyboard assignments later on there, right? Okay, and also how actually you're going to develop your idea at the same times, right? Your idea at the same times there. What are the most important things that I want you guys to learn, okay, from my introduction to illustration classes this semester, right? Is all about how to develop your skills. These are the first thing that we have to remember there, okay? Whatever that we have been going through before is all about developing your design skills. All right, design skills there. Okay, so right now, okay, I want you guys to give me a feedback there, okay, that we actually record the sessions there, right, before we're going to go through with our sessions there. And I'm going to upload also my our last assignment brief, which is basically you have planned also your kind of story, okay, at this stage, and then you have around 3 weeks time to develop basically your kind of picture book illustrations in 12 pages plus another 1 pages for your titles there, for your cover page titles there, okay. So if you take a look at the book itself there, okay, the book itself there, I have a picture book here with me or not. Right, let's just say this is a book there, okay? A picture books illustrations, okay? So, okay, this is one of it, okay? The size of the picture book are going to be around 12 by 12 inch, all right? I'm going to include basically back in our brief there, all right? 12 illustration in your sketchbooks, but it's not, we're not going to use sketchbooks, but we are going to use what we call that a digital format that you work with this. So it's a good privilege for you guys. You need to work only using digital format for this semester, right? Okay. Normally, as a previous student, they have to print it out, right? Okay. So I want you guys to save in PDF format only there, okay? And also, we are going to include our video presentations, right? Video presentation on your works there, okay? So in week 14, we are going to proceed with our 12 illustration picture books with one front cover, right? Okay, which is this is the front cover of the books there normally. Okay, it's a back cover there. So you guys just have to need to work with your front covers plus with the 12 pages of the stories there. Okay. What are the most important things that you need to remember there? Okay, in terms of developing this kind of what we call that assignments there is all about how you develop your kind of understanding to visualize your ideas there. Okay, your ideas using illustrations, using drawing and illustrations. Okay, those are the things that you have to take into consideration and focus. And at the same time, I want you guys also develop your kind of visual understanding how to develop your ideas in the right way by using the right way to sketch. This is basically one of my samples that I can share with you guys using fully digital. Okay, in terms of develop character design, storyline, in illustrations using Photoshop there, okay, and photo collage at the same time there, okay. The other books that I can share with you guys is this book there, okay. It's called Numbers there. This is one of the books also I created, okay, but this one I'm using both traditional medias there. I'm using paintings, traditional paintings, right, and also digital format which we draw some of the elements there. So in terms of designing the characters there, okay, as a multimedia designers, as a designers, I don't like to restrict myself only to work with a certain particular kind of styles only there, only specific styles only. I love to see the students actually explore a various type of way of visual making. All right. When you talk about characters, this is also a part of those character design. I'm using numbers to design a characters based on the monsters kind of what we call that characters kind of works there. All right. So this is an old book that that I actually created before. Okay. So this is one of the way that actually explore the visual interpretation on designing characters in more unique and distinctive kind of way there, okay? So I love to see, if you saw previously of my works, okay, I love using a very unique kind of approach on my design there, okay? I don't like have a very restriction, a specific kind of styles only that works, okay? This kind of works, basically, I'm using AI. If you guys are familiar with AI before they right, okay? You guys have done AI before they right? Using your image manipulation kind of subject there, right? Designing the characters there, if I'm not mistaken. So this artwork, basically, I'm using AI for one of the wall that I actually designed for one of the company there, okay? So if I want to give you guys a bit more kind of explorations on your mind, right? If you take a look right now there, okay, there's a lot of way to approach on your illustration works. All right, there's a lot of way there, okay. This is one of the work from, I forgot the name of the illustrators there, right. This is one of my favorite also artists, right, illustrators that actually inspired on my works there, okay. Using AI that day, using AI that works. This is my logo design, okay, from one of the company there. I mix them out with the reference there. So in terms of designing the characters, if you think you cannot go into mainstream means anime, manga, Marvel, Japanese anime styles, okay, or any kind of conventional kind of styles of illustrations. I would say this is one of the best options for some of you guys who want to explore and illustrations kind of styles and techniques and design using a very, what we call that, distinctive, unique kind of approach on your works there. But the color combinations is really important there. What you guys learn from color theory there, okay? You guys can use them for your design works, okay? So these artists using both media there, they can use traditional and also digital at the same time. All right. Niak there, okay? Niak two there, not mistaken. Niark, the name there, right? The name of the illustrators there, the nickname there, okay? Yeah, Niark, Niak one there, right? This is his name there. The name of the illustrators there, okay? The nickname, right? He designed the posters, okay? He designed the posters, okay, paintings there, right? Okay? So he has a very unique kind of style that most of the students, the illustrator students, can approach from there, right? Okay. Look like a child drawings, but it's not that. It's a design kind of elements that he plays with it. Okay. So that's why when you want to design something a bit more like a child, these kind of drawings, make sure you apply the principles and the element of design, okay, into your works there. It has balance, it has contrast, it has a unique approach on your works there that can give more attraction for the viewers to see there, okay? And of course, newcomers like you guys, basically, it's quite early for you guys to explore the more kind of experimental kind of works there. Sometimes our brain cannot digest, cannot accept it yet. But I believe if I share with you guys today and for this semesters all this kind of unique way to design and illustrations, they're right. Hopefully in the futures you will get into this kind of inspirations in order to develop your works there, okay, for your design purpose in the future. Hopefully that, okay. Because if you have this kind of visions, ideas there to develop a unique way for your presentation, and you can connect it with any kind of objective of your design works in the future, say right. I would say any of us as educators or teachers or cikgu that you say there, right, will accept this kind of style there, will accept it. Because this is one of the way actually a professional illustrator is making his own kind of works for the clients there, right? So this is one of the painting that he did there, okay? In one of the galleries there. Okay, guys. So hopefully you guys can see, right, the unique and also the bright open of the universe of illustrations there. Outside there, there can be work to be accepted there. Okay? If you look at these drawings, it looks a bit more like a child drawing, right? But it's not. It's a doodle kind of lines that have a very unique kind of approach to it. You have to practice a bit more from there, all right? But don't just trace from other people's works. Those are what the one rule that you need to avoid. You can copy, you can actually practice there, but don't use other people's works to trace them back and then made it a part of your works there. Okay, like Chanul tried just now, okay, when I actually browsed your works previously on Saturday there, right? We can actually draw from real object, okay, from still life object like environments, buildings or whatever that you saw from the pictures, photos there. But don't draw from other people's works. Don't trace or redraw from other people's work to make it into your own there, right? Okay. That call plagiat, okay? That call you actually use a pirate kind of what we call that IP creations kind of law that you actually break that intellectual property kind of law, all right, in terms of develop your work there. It's wrong basically, right? It's wrong in terms of IP creation kind of law there, right? Okay? So there's a lot of things you need to know about that, okay? But I just want to give you guys some examples there. Don't copy from other people's work to make it into yours there. Because they call plagiat, they call break the law of IP rights there, right? The intellectual properties right. We have that kind of IP rights in Malaysia too. All right. So don't copy or trace from other people's works and become yours. That's why, okay, when you design any chibi characters there or manga characters there, you have to provide in our research, in our presentations, your finding there, your reference. And if I saw your reference were a little bit similar to what you have from other people's works, I would say that you have to redo back again. And you need to redo back again. Okay? Alright, this is some of the works also that I did using AI there, right? Okay? I just want to give you guys more exposures, more kind of understanding, okay? This kind of design, basically, I create for one of the wall, okay, in Cyberjaya there, okay? They created quite big there, okay, this wall. I don't know whether I have those reference over here or not. Okay? But this design, basically, I create using AI. Why I'm using AI? Because I want to print more, it's a huge wall already. It's around 30 feet times, around 30 feet times 10 feet there, okay, height there. So I'm designing everything in AI there for that, for this particular kind of project. If you want to see my sketches, this is one of my sketches there, right? Very rough sketch there. It's a very rough sketch there. But the sketch, even though, okay, the rough sketch doesn't portray the finalization there. You can see there, okay, the difference there. It's quite different there, right? That's why we can actually improvise our works there. Okay, we need to learn to improvise our works there, right? Okay, this is one of the wall also that I create, but this is a glass wall, all right? This is also at Cyberjaya, but they actually have cleared it up, or okay, they actually take off from this green wall directly because one of the Najib project actually have taken over this kind of buildings. But this is one of my design. They actually print. This is not photo manipulations. This is AI projects. They actually print it out on the transparent kind of stickers, and they what we call that stick into the glass there. Okay, one of the design, and this is one of my design previous project. Okay. When we talk about presentations, this is my presentations, okay, on the wall itself. Okay, my concept, all right, explanations. This is my design works there that actually have been featured on the walls there, right? And some of the ideas behind those designs that I should create. This is the wall that I create for one of the earliest kind of wall in Cyberjaya there. Okay? We still have this one there. Okay? This is one of the what we call the international kind of publishing kind of pictures, stickers, books that I actually joined. Okay, back in the day, around 2010. This is one of the earliest Mickey 3 mix kind of projects that I create with Times Square Hong Kong directly. And this is one of my paintings, digital paintings based on the children's book illustrations. All right. All right. So I want you guys to have this kind of ideas in your mind, okay? Maybe not today, maybe not this semester, but I want you guys to keep that in your mind in terms of illustrations. They always have a lot of possibility you can explore there. Right. This is one of my paintings there, digital paintings, series of the paintings that I create to print it out, all right, using a children's kind of drawing style. All right, children's drawing styles there, like using combining with doodles with digital painting kind of works. Same goes to this one. Okay, so this is one of the a few kind of designs that I create basically for some of the projects. This is also from one of the Nuka kind of projects I got, but this is a manual kind of paintings, right? That I created before, right? What else there? All right. So, okay, in terms of comics, there, right? Comics, I think we have saw before, right? In terms of comics, I think you've seen a few of my comics. This is one of the comics using AI, right? I'm using AI to work with it. Okay? But this is only my test kind of comic thing. I didn't publish this comic, right? Visually can be explained, right? All the terms and styles of working with this kind of design. Okay? And of course, I did a lot of research before I'm going to visualize all these ideas there. All right. So I want you ask. I want to ask you guys questions. Okay, from what we actually have been going through there, right? We have been going through, okay, for the past 10 weeks, right? For the past 10 weeks there. Anything that you want to suggest to me or you want me to share or demonstrate that can gain and help you to develop more kind of understanding on your skills there? Throw me any questions. Anything that you don't understand or you want me to improve? Okay, this kind of activities we are going to go through next semester there, hopefully, right? Caricatures and digital illustrations, okay? So that's why I want you guys to clean up your line well, improve your line well, that is, okay? Because we are going to go through with that kind of assignments there, a part of the assignments there, right? Okay? Okay, this is also one of my experimental caricatures based on myself there, okay? Based on myself, right? This is my uncle's, right? I'm using a very try to explore different kind of way of designing a caricature. People can still see my features. People can see also the struggling on the faces of these characters there, okay? Based on the style that I'm going to approach there. I really love to explore a very unique and also the style that I'm going to approach. There will be a little bit more like a heavy kind of loads of elements there, right? Loads of elements there. Mm. So I used to love and also enjoy working with this kind of projects. But nowadays, I feel a little bit kind of busy doing a lot of things there other than what we call a sharing session and also teaching. Okay? Remember about Okibal there, right? One of my ex-students there. This is one of his earlier works, right? From the wall, right, to the vector styles there, right? Is some of his earlier works there, right? So if you have this kind of community that can help you to inspire you more, I think, hopefully you guys can learn from there. It's also one of my concepts kind of presentations, okay, based on the digital format already, working with those character design environments, right? Together there, right? This is some of my sample of what we call that magazine that they actually try to publish okay for the past few years there. But it's just a concept already. Okay? explain about the designers there and also the character designers kind of works. Right? This is my, these three is my works there. These are my character design there. So illustrations basically is a very interesting kind of world there, especially in multimedia, because this is a core subject there. Okay? It's a core subject. So if you don't take serious to develop your sense of design in illustrations, you will lose all the aesthetical value there, the beauty of multimedia design there. It's not all about photographies, shooting videos only there. If you can combine all the elements that you learn from photographies, drawing illustrations, motion graphics, animations, right, and acting there, okay, for your projects in the futures, you will find multimedia is very exciting kind of courses that you guys can explore a lot to build up your own careers in the future. And remember one thing, because I'm also quite active, basically not active okay, in directly, but uh, I'm also actually right become one of the panel okay for a few kind of years there okay to create a module for the new students there. So that means there are okay what I've actually seen right now, in order for you guys to have a quite good careers in multimedia, you need to know how to develop also and create also your own kind of jobs there, okay? If you saw nowadays in multimedia, for example, there, okay, people can make money a lot to become YouTubers. YouTubers. Okay? One of the best in terms of create your own content there, okay, on YouTube is animation. What kind of animations? This kind of animation. Transformations there. Transformations is not local, but the local one is what are the name of the Chinese guy there? I think? Uh, let me check that. Okay, this one, cartoon hooligans. This is one of the Chinese guy there, I think, Malaysian Chinese there, I think. He created his cartoon hooligans there, right? So this is one of the module of career path you guys can actually use as a guide. If you love animations, you don't have to work with big studios nowadays, and you actually can gain your profit, your money, become a YouTubers. But other than if you guys can know how to promote yourself, especially ladies there, right? You can become a YouTubers and review some of the products in the futures there to make money from there, right? But if we talk about multimedia, like talk about design, animations, there, right? Nowadays, people can make money from YouTube's, and this is the futures there. I think we're talking about now and the futures there. People don't rely on the broadcast, traditional broadcast anymore. There, I think. I also have a lot of strong argument, okay, with the industries right nowadays. Right, you can work with other people also. Like me, I make money on teaching and also sharing sessions, and also become a panels there and do a big kind of trading kind of things like selling durian at the same time there, okay, and sell some of the things there. But my core kind of what we call that theories is all about teaching and also design and animations there and illustration itself, right? So those are the core things that I actually have done right there. This is also one of my planning that I want to do in the future there. I've been planning quite some time, okay, but I don't have enough kind of manpower to work basically because most of the team that I have, they also have their own kind of works there. Right? So that means for me, for you guys as a new generations, You have to grab all this kind of opportunity in the early stage there. If your sim doesn't have any YouTube channels, create your own YouTube channels right now. Okay? Not just the purpose to share your lifestyles or whatever that you like, but build up your careers from here. From here. Okay? Those are the things that I think. Then you can also do something else there. Because this kind of works, you can work 24/7 there. No restriction there. But the only restriction that you have, once you become a YouTuber there, right, okay, you have to create the content there, okay? Create the content, okay? So if you want to check Cartoon Hooligans, okay, this is one of the Malaysian kind of channels, YouTubers that make a profit, make money directly from these channels, okay? So he using a very small production team there. I think 1 or 2% only involved in this project there. But he has a skill pool, right? But it doesn't have to be this kind of styles, okay, that people can accept it, right? If you review animation or toy, this is a part of the animations there, okay? This is what we call stop motion animations. If you love toys, you can create also some animations, stop motion animations, using these kind of methods of working. It doesn't have to be drawings at the same time, right? But you can combine the whole thing and right to develop a content, right? I'm talking about all these kind of things today because I want you guys to be aware. And if someone or your parents or your siblings or anyone that you know asks you what you want to do in the future, stay right. This is some of it that you can actually explain that. Whatever that we have right here, it's not all about just watching the right thing. They make money from these YouTube channels. Right? Your generations want to make money, it's not that hard, but you have to be focused. Okay? Even though it's quite hard, okay, for some other people say, okay, like your parents, it's okay, you have to work hard, of course, everything has to work. This kind of person also work hard there, okay? This kind of people also work hard there, right? You can see that, okay? But all this kind of, what we call that, advertisements there, it's money there, it's money making there, right? So make sure that you actually focus from now on and know where basically your directions are going to. In terms of animations, right? You see how much viewer is this person make, right? Okay? Subscribers, okay, 16.9. The viewers, 2 millions there, right? 2 million viewers there. But he also had been create quite more numbers of years. I think more than 10 years that this channel have been done there. Okay? This is also one of the good channels that I saw there. Okay? About animation. I love animation very much there. But I did not actually restrict myself into one particular style there. Animation is all about entertainment. If you can entertain people, that means you succeed, right? I saw some people actually try to draw like anime, manga kind of styles there, right? I think like this one they're writing like easy there, I think. I never tried that. Two anime styles there, right? To combine with a little bit more like a westernized kind of design there, I think. It can be, right? You have to know your kind of resources there. I show you guys today some of my resources that you use. Right? For some people who cannot who love 3D animations, okay, this is basically cartoon compilations there. It's not actually quite the right tools there, okay, for you to this is a more like a big production there. Zig and Shaku basically is a big production there. TNZ basically a small production there. The avocado couples, right? Okay, crazy what we call that channels there basically is a small production groups. I love to see the small productions kind of group, right? Because they will give us a bit more kind of inspiration, right? I want to check my contact. My kind of what we call the channels there that actually have subscribes. Even though, okay, what I did right now, basically, it's not similar to this Proco, right? But because I don't have time to create basically a proper kind of editing yet, right? But this is also one of my target, right? This is also one of my kind of main kind of target, right? To create a bunch of tutorials for the students there, okay, for the people who actually want to share. That's why, in particular, right now, I, I made my kind of channels more public there, okay. Even though I don't have times, but at least, hopefully, there is some people who really need my kind of demonstration. They can actually look on it, right? Okay, those are things. All right. So, any questions, there, guys? Any questions that you want to suggest to me that I can improve more on my teaching methods there, or anything that you want to ask me in order to develop more on your skills and understanding there, right? Throw me there, right now. Open up your webcam there. Switch on your webcam there. Sure, anything there you want to ask, you want to suggest to me there? Or Wenjun, did you learn a lot from here? Did you improve a lot on your designing characters there? If from the first stage, basically, you saw, like, you actually share with me your ideas there, right? And then
Yes.
I actually blast them a bit more and more. I push you more there, okay? What do you learn from there? Anything?
Uh, how to design my character rightly.
Yeah? Can hear the rest. Anyone there? All right. Shira there, right? Hmm. Anything there? No. Don't know what to ask there. Kelly, how is it? What do you guys learn? Okay, what do you need to learn more there? Okay? Do you think that
I
that you can become pro for this semester, sir?
maybe yes,
Huh? Can become pro for this
yes,
semester?
more practice. Drawing need more practice. Yeah.
Yeah, that's right. Design has to be practiced a lot, right? We're not talking about drawings only, right? We're talking about design itself, right? Okay? The whole pictures of what you actually experience is all about designing that, right? Drawing is a part of it. It's a part of it that makes your design become a bit more better or not there, right? Okay? Testing, how is it there? What do you eat there, right? Okay, we have some there, right? Hmm. All right, anyone there, right? Again, want to throw me any questions there? Where basically you want me to improve or you want me to show a bit more, right? Okay, because for me to gather the whole kind of module together, okay, for 14 weeks is quite crammed, okay. That's why That's why if you take a look back again, okay, every week and every session, okay, I will take someone works and I'm going to use as a part of reference and show how to develop back again, okay, how to develop back again, okay. But I think one of the most common issues that we have that you don't learn from what you see. A lot of people have this kind of mistakes there, right? You have to use your eyes there. Use your eyes and brain to think when you look at the demonstrations there. Okay, those are the things there. Because if you take a look at some of the works from other people's there, okay, let us say time lapse there, okay, time lapse drawing there. Okay, some of the drawings time lapse there, right? So if you take a look the way they produce the works there, okay, basically it's the same thing as I actually show you guys there, okay, how it works there. But the difference is the methods or maybe the technique, but the way that they approach it. Okay, this is manually been done there, okay, and we actually using traditional medias there to work there, okay. If you take a look closely, okay, when this guy actually start to do the work, okay, he start with the basic structures there. But of course, this one were made by professionals there, okay. So that's why for some students, if they actually look at this kind of drawings, they won't be able to see whether it's right or not, how actually they want to improve from there. Why? Because you not actually been trained to develop this kind of drawings there, because this one is basically is too advanced there, okay? For me, this kind of demonstrations is more like a show off kind of skills there. But you can learn also from how actually they develop the shadows, shades, and develop the right kind of way to draw every single what we call that sections, structures, basically for this drawings methods there, okay. But it's quite advanced, okay. For the beginners, I think it's quite hard for you to follow there, right? But the methods of the drawing, the techniques, how to control the structures and lines were there basically, right? It's basically everything is there, right? Okay. Let me actually just give some examples there. If you saw that person actually draw like that, right? What we can do from here, right? Show my hands when you start to draw, right? Okay, they use this kind of methods that works, and then suddenly zoom in, right? Right. See how actually we develop what we call that the methods there, right? Of working there. Quite advanced, right? So it seems like he doesn't know whether how to work with this kind of structures there. Why? Because I don't actually draw from these basic structures there, right? I just simply draw from my understanding there. See? Right. If I want to shade there, right, I can use wet sponge brushes, right? Adjust the flows, and then I can paint there. Right? See? I'm using the different kind of what we call that brushes lah, right? Okay, because the person actually you saw just now, he draw using charcoals or pencils, right? But basically the same, like the methods are going to be the same. How to control the shades and shadings in the same at the same time, right? But of course, your brushes that you have, I used to have that kind of brushes there, but when I actually uninstall, what we call that, when I'm to actually have format my kind of PC there, okay? It doesn't have that kind of brushes, some of the good brushes that I used to work with before. But I'm using these three basic brushes there. Okay? these three basic brushes there, right? Rough round bristles, wet sponge, and all medium to sketch out these ideas there, right? See? Right. So the methods of working basically have to be improved a lot from time to time. All right. So the same goes with these drawings then. Right. Of course, I'm not drawing the same drawings here, but the techniques, the methods is almost the same. Okay, guys. So that's basically the learning process of understanding. It takes time there. It takes time. But I want to see people who actually have zero knowledge can develop at least to sketch in the right way first. Don't follow others, okay? If you saw some people actually can draw anime, manga styles, but you can't, and you want to try. Yes, you can try to draw them, but you need to fill up your mind, your brain with the knowledge there. What are the knowledge there? To draw in the right way, to draw the proportions well there, right? Okay? Those are the things. Okay? One of the methods that I actually have shown you guys before were based from drawing from the pictures directly and then turn into character design directly into a manga styles character. I don't know whether I have the videos right here. I think I have it. I already downloaded the videos. If you watch my earlier kind of process of developing the design, the characters, that works right. From this exercise and this exercise, right, you can see that I actually have been introduced you guys also how to learn to develop your kind of anime styles, but using reference there. Using reference there. Some people ask me that, okay, when I actually create that kind of exercise there, okay, they thought that, oh, this is how actually we design characters. I'm saying that's basically one of the techniques, but the real the most the better technique that you can apply will basically is by drawing from the gestures line and stroke gestures, but don't draw from other people's anime there, okay, or anime styles there. Why? Because if you actually keep drawing from others' works, you will actually lose some of the confidence stage you want. Okay? For example, like this one, we have these pictures here with us. Okay. If I want to draw this lady, this characters, this reference become an animator. Right? What I can do is, of course, go through, okay, with the right kind of structures line. You want to draw anime eyes there, right? See. This one, I'm combining imaginations with the knowledge at the same time. Right? The nose itself from anime is like that, right? Yeah. Okay. Something like that, right? Sometimes we can actually draw the lips and mouth a bit more. Yeah. Anime have a very cute mouth there, right? And then the what we call that, the jaw, all right, and the eyes itself here, right. And then the fingers also a bit more smaller there, right? Anime styles there, for example. And of course, whatever that we're going to go through, it's all about the understanding on the proportion as well. That's why don't just simply draw them and you tell me directly, I don't like anime or manga styles. Directly. If you look at your drawings, you know why basically I forbidden you guys to draw anime styles. For example, this is only a reference to these examples there, but I don't like this kind of styles there. okay? Because you can do more better than that. But this is one of the examples. You can actually try to develop your kind of understanding there, okay? On developing your characters using the reference there. But I didn't encourage you guys to work on that, right? A lot. Why? Because you restrict yourself with this kind of methods only. Later on, you will get caught with when you draw something like this, right? Okay? You don't find any satisfactions there to draw back again, right? Using your own ideas there, because you actually been trapped yourself to draw from your reference only there. What I do suggest, right? What you can do there, right? Always find your own kind of understanding there. You have a reference with you. Okay, you want to draw the fingers there, right? That's what I say. Okay? Work on that difference there. Okay? Practice, right? The structures there, measurement line. Okay, if you have a lot of dirty line structures line, okay, from your sketches, it's okay. Don't worry there, because there's nothing perfect. Okay, if you want to learn to develop yourself, it's nothing shame for you to show basically your progress there on works. See, if you don't know how to have, you don't know the anatomies of these drawings there, right? You won't be able to get it right. That's why we don't need to rely on the pictures all the time. Okay. So you have the reference, you have the guideline there right towards, and then you can actually start to sketch a bit more better. So now the eyes, the nose, right? The lips itself there. Want to make this girl with more sad that I kind of looks there. So when you have this kind of good understanding, then you can start to draw more details. Okay? More details there. See the way I actually construct those lines, right? And sketch it out that way. Right? For me directly, as a design student, as a multimedia student, if you can sketch like this, right? And then you can clean up your line. Okay? For the whole semester here, it's more than enough. I think you have basically show a very quite kind of achievements there. Okay, on yourself there. It's not for me, it's only for you there. Okay? Your kind of achievements there. The proportions right, okay? Because sometimes, because when I look at some people actually try to blame someone else there. We can know whether you can actually draw or not when you start to draw people. You don't draw faces. When you don't start to draw faces that we know basically you basically doesn't know what to do there. Right? You actually you still search in the dark there, right? Okay. But you want to blame someone else there, that people reject your works because that person doesn't like anime styles there, right? Those are the things that I get from the feedbacks before there, right? So don't blame other people there, right? If you cannot draw well there. So train yourself more. Train yourself more there, right? Okay? To improve yourself, not me there, okay? I always improve myself there, right? All the time there, okay? Shading line. Shading line there, right? Those are things there. If you guys can improve your drawing skills right here for these semesters, it is a very quite achievement for you to go to grow your skills for the next semesters there. Okay? Those are the things that you should do. Alright. But this is not the only way, but you can use it as a part of one of the way for you guys to work on your skills. Okay? Skills in the future as well. Okay? Alright, any questions? Just wait for our what we call that assignment brief that I'm going to share with you in the short time there, right? Remember, okay, develop your characters in the right way, sketch out your ideas there, and I did also give you guys some examples last week, all right, on how to paint using these brushes tools there. Even though the paint styles or the techniques that I want to show basically is very basic there. It's very basic there. Okay? I saw some of you guys actually have did a lot of good styles of painting in Photoshop, okay, from the previous character works there, right? Okay, but I actually show you guys last Saturday, okay, how to paint, okay, in a more easiest way there, okay, by using your own character design kind of works there. This is one of the demonstrations that I did for you guys, all right, using very simple brushes there, soft brushes, and also ink drop kind of paints there, it works there, right, okay. And of course, I have also the videos that I actually have shared with you guys to draw a different kind of techniques there. Remember about this kind of character that I did for group 1 there, okay? Which is the James, the space boy there, right? So I did also give you guys some examples how actually I draw these characters from scratch based from my studies and sketches there, right? And I create an outline kind of works there, right? All right, and then use a little bit more like conventional kind of styles of paintings, a very simple kind of approach. And of course, if you want to add some shadings, always play with your flows there. Flows, right? In Photoshop, right? In brushes, right? They change the flows there all the time, right? Okay. So how actually I create also some of the titles there, right? Okay, some cover page, okay, for these books itself, right? Okay. So I'm using different kind of brushes there to work with, right? I'm not actually write the titles there, but I draw the titles for the books. Remember, right? We in illustration subjects there. Don't write down, but draw these. Right? Draw your titles there. Right. If I want to draw the titles over here, for example, there, right? this one there, right? What is it? I'm drawing the titles there, right? I'm not writing down. See? Drawing there. I'm drawing them. See? Yeah, I'm drawing them there. I'm not writing down. Okay? Draw and drawings is different there. To draw, you have to increase the size a bit. And then you draw them up. Using your hands to draw your titles there. Okay? So any brushes can be worked, but if you have to test this, right? Some of the brushes there. Right. Some of the brushes need a bit kind of changes of size there, right? Okay, depending there. But these brushes basically is not quite suitable for drawing the text or the font there, right? It doesn't suitable, but if you want to improvise from here, can. How actually I improvise then? I'm using different kind of what we call that way of working there. Okay? Drawing there. Okay? Yeah. But I'm still designing the words there, right? I'm not actually writing down. Remember, right? Writing and drawing is two different things. Okay? I'm writing down the words there. I'm drawing down the words there, okay? I'm not actually writing down them. Okay, guys? Any questions? Testing, how is it? Okay. Anyone else?
Sir,
How about his uncle there, Hiram? Yes? Who is it?
sir, I'm Wenjun. Sorry, just now my Wi-Fi lag.
Ah,
I
Wenjin.
have I have a question that is that the picture book we can draw only 12 pages or can more than 12?
More than 12? No need, okay? You don't have to increase your pages there. Only 12 pages only. There,
Okay.
Because I want you guys to focus more on your illustrations. The stories basically only accessories to guide your visuals there, okay? So don't plan a lot of complexity of your story. Don't draw a very difficult story there. Right? Find a very interesting story, but not that difficult for you to visualize. And you can focus more on your design. All right? How to design your characters in more effective way from each pages there. Okay? And you can explore
Okay.
also your way of working with your styles in Photoshop at the same time. Okay? All right, Wing Jin.
Okay, got it. Thank you,
Wing
sir.
Jin, I'm going to write your names there. I'm looking forward to see your works there. Young Wing Jin there. Okay. Anything else, guys? Thank you very much, Wing Jin, for asking the questions there. Don't draw more than 12. 12 is more than enough there. Right. The only thing that you have to focus your visualizations. Okay. And
Sir,
normally, okay, in publishings, we have the extended rate of those pages there. All right. Yes. In fact,
I got a question. The
what
plot,
is it in fact?
the plot, right? And I draw 9 only. Hello?
You can draw what?
9.
Yes, I can hear you.
The plots, can I draw 9 plots only?
Okay, if you want to 9 what?
9 plots.
The
Yes,
props. The prop or the box,
the props. PROPS.
the prop for your second
Yeah.
assignments. Q. I can't understand it right. What
Wait,
is it?
I
Okay, the size, okay. Let me explain it. Right down there, right? Right down there, okay? So now, the size of each illustrations are going to be around 12 by 12 inch. Resolutions, normally we use 300, right? But I want you guys to use only 150 dpi only. All right, remember, right? Okay, 150 dpi only, right? This is the size of your work. And your illustrations has to be inside this boxes there, right? Okay, let me show you guys the guide. Okay, can you see this is the guide there, right? Your illustration has to be, okay, don't draw the guide lah, okay? This is only a guide for you to understand, right? Okay? In every illustration that you want to draw, this is what we call bleed there, right? Okay? That means the border there, okay, borderline, okay? And if you want to draw anything, you want to add your characters or any kind of text there, okay, it has to be inside here. Okay? So let's just say this is the, you want to add some trees, for example, there, right? You want to add some buildings, you want to add some titles, there, right? It has to be inside here. Don't draw outside from those boxes there, okay? Don't draw the titles too near of the box there, all right? It has to be inside here. Okay? It called the borderline also a bleed or a safe frame for every conversation or layout there. Okay, so draw everything inside here, inside the box, around, I think not more than an inch there. Okay, 0.5 kind of inch there. Okay, the rule is there, okay, from 0.5 there. Okay? So that means it's not that, because why? Because I'm asking you guys to draw like this one, because you can actually paint everything. Let us say your design has a sky there, right? This is sky right here. Okay. You want to draw, okay, some clouds right here. It's okay, right? Some grass over here, I think it's okay. But the elements that you want to include in your picture books or your compositions has to be inside these boxes. Understand? Okay. So the title itself also, the right. Normally, when people design titles, the right, it has to be in the middle. Okay. Titles has to be in the middle. Right. Don't draw too close like this one. Okay. Because why? Because if you want to print your books, okay, normally printer are going to cut over here, okay. So that means if you actually put the titles right here, okay, they're going to cut your half of it, right? You can see the whole titles there. You can see the whole elements that you want to include on your presentation, on your layout there, right? So remember that, okay, you add any design that you want to do, any kind of designs there, okay, it has a safe frame on out of it, okay. So always use the borderline to guide you to this. This is a standard format there, okay. Either you want to design a web design, web page, or any kind of video frames, okay, it has a safe frame there, okay. That's why in camera they have a safe frame they call it, okay. in cameras, basically, they're right. If you familiar with the camera frame, they're right. They have this kind of guideline there. Okay, to shoot the cameras there. So this is the target there, right? There is also some of the safe frame there, okay? They can guide you. Right? The objects, they were right here. They call basically the asymmetrical balance there, right? Or maybe you put in the middles, or maybe front. There's one person right over the shoulders, and you show the landscape or the buildings over here. This is basically a balance of format or layout computation for any kind of methods that we are going to use, okay, to shoot photographies, videos, or illustration itself, okay? The same thing. All right. Okay, let me answer the question first. Can I draw 9 props? 9 props. We need 10 there, right? So 10 props there, okay? Not 9 there. Why you have 9 there, okay? Think another one there, okay? What do you think that? Okay. All right. Anything else there? Remember, okay, when you design your stories, okay, when you design your stories on your thumbnails, right, you will find a lot of elements that can be included later on. Okay, don't worry. All right, work on that. Okay, if you don't have any questions, thank you very much for having me today.